In this video, we're going to look at solving equations where we have the pronumerals on both sides. So an example of that equation would be 4x plus 5 equals 3x plus 9. So the idea is that we have to have the x's, the pronumerals, both on the one side. So we need to get the numbers on one side and the pronumerals, the terms with pronumerals on the other side. So the way I usually do it is I look at the coefficient of the pronumeral. So in this case, on this side it's the 4, and on this side it's the 3. And I move towards the biggest pronumeral. So what I'm going to do first is take away 3x. So this is plus 3x, so I'm going to take away 3x. So I've got to take that 3x from both sides. So when we calculate that, we have 4x minus 3x leaves us with 1x, or just x, plus 5, because that doesn't go away. And on this side, the 3x minus 3x is eliminated, but we're still left with the plus 9. So now we're in a position where we have the x on its own, and sorry, the x, the pronumeral, plus 5. So I need to get rid of that plus 5. So to get rid of the plus 5, I minus 5 from both sides. So I end up with x, the plus 5 minus 5 is eliminated, and then 9 minus 5 is 4. All right, that's a pretty simple outline, because when I've subtracted my 3x from my 4x, it's just left me with 1x. So that's pretty simple. Let's look at a different example. So in this example, I've got 5a plus 8 equals 8a minus 1. So as I said before, the first thing I like to do is to look at my pronumerals on both sides. Now in this case, my largest coefficient of my pronumeral is on the right, which is the 8. So I want to subtract the 5a from the left side and take it to the right side. So I'm going to subtract 5a from both sides. So what happens here is when I subtract the 5a, that eliminates the 5a on the left, so I'm left with 8. And when I subtract the 5a from the right, I'm left with 3a. 5a minus 3a leaves me, 5a minus 8a minus 5a leaves me with 3a. And I've still got the minus 1, okay, because nothing's happened to that. So now the second part of my equation, I have to get rid of this minus 1. I can't deal with the 3 yet because I still have this minus 1 on the right. So what I'm going to do is add 1 to both sides. And that gives me 8 plus 1 on the left, which is 9. 9 equals, now I've got 3a, and my minus 1 and plus 1 eliminates the 1. So I'm left with 9 equals 3a. So at this point, we know this is 3 times a, so I'd need to divide both sides by 3. That's a divide. So now I've got 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 3a divided by 3 is a. Now it doesn't matter that my pronumeral is on the right. I can just swap, as long as I swap them straight over. A equals 3. So that's another straightforward example where the pronumerals, the largest pronumerals on the right. It wouldn't matter. We could have done it the other way around. In fact, I'll do that the other way around. So here's the equation again. 5a plus 8 equals 8a minus 1. So what I said before is I like to move everything towards the largest coefficient of my pronumeral. But let's look what happens if I subtract 8a from both sides. Okay, when I subtract 8a from 5a, I get minus 3a. I've still got my plus 8 on this side, and over here, when I subtract 8a, that eliminates the 8a, but I'm still left with minus 1 from the right side of the equation. So here now we need to eliminate this plus 8, and the way we do that is subtracting 8 from both sides. So now I'm left with minus 3a on the left. The 8's are eliminated, equals minus 1 minus 8, which is minus 9. Now in this case, when we divide both sides to get rid of this minus 3 coefficient of a. We're going to divide both sides by minus 3. And what that gives me is a on the left. So minus 3a divided by minus 3 leaves me with an a. And minus 9 divided by minus 3, a minus divided by a minus is a minus. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And there's my answer. The answer is exactly the same as it was in the previous question. All right, I hope that helps. Sometimes you will get negative answers, and that's okay too. All right, I hope this has been help, and good luck for that.